Hello everyone, we are pleased to welcome you on this live video about our summer school on smart cities and engineering for sustainable architecture. I'm Elisabeth Verrayan, Head of Communication and Marketing at EPF Graduate School of Engineering, and I will be hosting this live along with Farinas Falaki, who is a lecturer in building and sustainable cities and the academic coordinator of this summer program, and Sophie Caroline Wissmann, who is the head of international department at ESTP Paris. Just to remind you, we'll be together for about 30 minutes or more. Feel free to send us all your questions during the live. We will try to answer all the questions progressively during the live. We'll try to do our best to answer them all. In case you can't make it until the end of the live, we will send us the replay and it will be available on our website just after the live. So shall we start?
Sure.
Ready? Okay.
Yeah.
So first, maybe Farinas, you could present us a little bit the program, explain us the goal, the organization, and everything about this summer program.
So this summer school starts from 2nd of July 2019 till 20th of July, and the program has two parts. The first part has lectures and seminars, and the second part is dedicated to workshops and teamwork and working on real projects. And so it's going to be an overview of smart cities, what smart cities are, what are the challenges regarding smart cities, different aspects of smart cities, such as big data, integration of renewable resources of energy, etc. And also we have a part dedicated to sustainable architecture. And so we're going to looking at it from engineering point of view. We will discover different aspects of sustainable development and architecture, for example, in daylight in architecture, acoustics, and different other things that I'm going to explain later.
Okay. Can I just add the cherry on the cake, which will be the cultural exposure to France and an introduction to the French language as well?
Yes.
And how is it organized? Because it's not the whole summer program is not in one single place. So,
well, as Farinas told we will have one first part which is more theoretical in Cachan. So this is a city very close to Paris, about 20 minutes away with a subway. And this is taking place on the campus of ESTP. And then the second part for the next 10 days, so the first 10 days in Cachan, second part in Troyes, the city of Troyes, which is located in the Champagne region in France. So another attractive aspect of France.
You were talking about the cultural aspects. Can you tell us more about the activities that are organized and for the participants?
Sure. Well, in the first part in Paris, it will take, the cultural activities will be around touristic places. We'll have a little tour on the Seine. This is the river along Paris. We will have a visit of gardens that are located on rooftops. So this is more linked to the smart cities and smart buildings. We will have another part, which is a visit of the Museum of Architecture and Architecture. And the city, yes. What else? I guess that's about it. We'll have probably a theater outing as well.
We also have construction site visits and also visit of renovation site, which is one of the best and remarkable renovation in France and also the world. So it will be quite interesting for students of architecture to see this project.
Okay, great. And what would be the goal of this summer program? In 3 weeks, what are supposed to learn the students? What's the main goal of this summer program?
So the students will have an initiation to smart cities. For those who are interested in continuing their studies in this field, they will be confirmed. They will know if this is really their point of interest. Mm-hmm. And also we have some aspects of research that we integrated into our summer school in comparison with the edition of last year. And so the students who are interested in research, doing a master degree afterwards, they will have the opportunity to see our laboratories of research, meeting with some research people, and also they can discuss and have contact with researchers and project managers.
We do have a question from Xiu saying, if I am interested in the research area, is there any exposure I could get with researchers or laboratories?
Yes, of course. We in the part that we have in Troyes, in the second part of our summer school, what we have is we have 2 courses with 2 researchers that come for this occasion, and they will present their projects. They will also show the softwares they are using for smart cities, for example. And also we have laboratories in EPF 3, which is very interesting for architecture students, for example. We have a human model which is able to simulate all the behaviors of humans. So we put it, for example, in a space, and we have some tests. The model can can interact, can sweat, for example, if it's too hot, etc. So we can see comfort. We can analyze the level of comfort of the space. We also have a laboratory in which there are two spaces, and in between there's a kind of wall with opening. In the opening, we add different types of materials for installation, and then we have sensors, and on the computer we can see if the material is good for installation, for example, and we can compare different types of materials.
Okay, great.
And in Cachan, same thing. We have 2 dedicated periods for research, and one is taking place in the BIM lab, which is the Building Information Modeling. So the students will be exposed to the researcher specialized in BIM.
Okay. What kind of applicants are you looking for, both in terms of academic level and personality also, to join the group and enjoy the summer school?
Well, in terms of personality, we're not too picky. We will welcome all well-intended and all motivated students. Jokes setting apart, the academic level and academic technical background will be more oriented to students from engineering, civil engineering, architecture, urbanism, all these majors.
And what level?
Well, usually the idea is to gather students in their first year of master's degree or last year of bachelor's degree, or getting into a master's degree. Some of them may even think of pursuing a master's degree in France in the upcoming years. And we do welcome students who are thinking of pursuing a PhD as well.
I also add that we encourage students to participate, to be socialized, to try to work as a team with other students, and of course having intellectual curiosity. It's
the most important.
And I would add only the level of English, which should be about average, yes, for the classes.
Okay. How can they apply to the summer program?
Well, it's rather easy, and then a quick procedure. They should log into the website, EPF website or ESDP website. So it's EPF.fr or ESDP.fr. There is an application form that they have to fill out, and then some documents to upload. So the application form, they will have to email it once submitted. Then they have to add the academic transcripts in English or French. Rather English, in an English certification, if that's the case, I mean, if applicable, a copy of the passport or residence permit, and then an electronic ID picture.
Okay, and what are the fees and all the administrative procedures that are to be expected to attend the program? Because I guess there are some.
Yes, unfortunately, the program is not free. It's a 3-week program, including accommodation, and the fee is, the tuition fee is 2,500 euros, 2,500 euros. There is a 10% discount to apply if the students are coming from a partner university from ESTP or EPF. And a group discount may also be applied, awarded to a group students. And we are precisely discussing right now in the venue of a professor from India who would come with a cohort of students. Okay. And that would be, we'll be keen on welcoming this type of cohort as well. The administrative procedure depends on the country, of course. I mean, I'm talking about visa now, where the student is coming from. It's usually easy since students can apply for a 3-week visa, so it's usually a tourism visa that is appropriate.
It's easier than a student visa.
Sure, yeah. Sure. It's a short time.
We have a live question from Apurva who is asking, are engineers in electronics program allowed?
Sure, of course.
So welcome, Apurva.
Yes, welcome.
Send your application.
Absolutely.
And we were talking about English courses, and I have received a question from Ali who is asking if all the classes are taught in English.
Yes, absolutely.
So 100% English.
That's the purpose.
Except the French course.
Yeah, of course. True. It's optional or it's compulsory, the French course?
No, it's compulsory.
It's a compulsory.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's not great. Many hours though.
Okay. We have also 2 other questions quite related on the English subject from Jen and Mamet. They seem a bit scared. They are asking, is it true that nobody speaks English on the street in France? And am I going to get by or survive if I am not able to speak French?
Yes, I think definitely I think French language is not that scary, but no, people do speak English on the street most of the time, and for street questions, I would say.
Yes, that I can really tell you that.
You can testify.
Yeah, right.
Because I've lived in France for 2 years without speaking
Any French.
Wow, maybe bonjour, merci. And I really survived because everyone understands at least English, so it's quite easy to communicate.
So don't worry with the French.
And especially in Paris, everyone.
Exactly, it's Paris after all. Yeah, it's a capital.
Sophie Caroline, maybe you could tell us a bit more about all the logistics, like the housing, the transportation, the meal insurance, and so on during their stay in France.
So the students should arrive on the Saturday before the summer school starts. So I think it's June 30th. They could always come in on July 2nd, Monday morning as well. But they will be welcome on the Saturday. We may even be able to pick them up at the airport. So this is scheduled to be the case during, there are 2 pickups, one in the morning, one in the afternoon at the airport. They will be lodged, accommodated in on the campus of ESTP in Cachan. So this is pretty easy, and they will have only a few meters to go to the classroom in the morning. After 10 days, so on the Wednesday, July 11th, they will go to Troyes, and this transportation is organized by us and by bus. So they will leave Cachan in the morning on the Wednesday, and they will get to Troyes about 2 hours later. So it's a short ride, and they will be welcome to Troyes by the Troyes team from EPF. So transport is smooth, and then once they're in Troyes, they have a residence which is about 10 minutes away by bus.
City center.
Yeah, in the city center of Troyes, and they will be in I guess in Cachan it's a room. It's about 10 square meters, 12 square meters room. And they will have showers and kitchen apart in their room, share. As opposed to Troyes, where they have a little studio, they have a kitchen and bathrooms and showers in the room.
Okay. So Saida, we was asking any possibility to get the accommodation details. Feel free to send us the precise questions if the info that Sophie Caroline is not enough.
We could even send pictures. Yeah, I could post the pictures on the website in the next few days. Sure.
And we have another question also from Saida. I'm sorry for the pronunciation if I'm wrong. Do you shortlist the candidates after submitting the documents and offer the admission?
I would say that the admission letter is sent right after the application is complete. So if that was the case, then Saida has received an admission letter. If that's not the case, then that's probably because the application was not completely done or it was not fully completed. If so, there's an exchange with Stefan Taylor, who's my homologue in EPS, and we will take care of it. So no, usually we don't have to shortlist students. We do issue an admission letter right away if the admission is complete.
Okay. And Saida is asking also, can we select the accommodation?
Not really. On the campus, if of course we could deduct the. If a student has an accommodation, or if a family member can accommodate the student in Paris, of course we won't, force the students to stay over on the campus. But if the choice of the student is to live on the campus, then they don't have
to choose their room.
They can't choose their room.
Okay. Last summer was organized the first session of the summer program. Could you give us some feedback on this first session? Like, where did all the students come from, for example?
Sure. We had students from Australia, China, Chile, Belgium, Saudi Arabia, India, and some from France as well.
Okay. And what was their feedback on this first summer program?
Well, very enthusiastic, I have to say. They really appreciated the framework and felt really well monitored and closely coached. The session was well organized. The feedback was very positive about Troyes because it was a small scale city. So they have to, they thought they might have to adapt, but it was pretty easy for them. The experience in France, I guess, took students to another level of knowledge, which was a very positive aspect as well. It did widen their vision about international architects, international smart cities. They had concrete examples from all over the world. They seemed happy to have the exposure of studies in France. So I could take the example of two students who did actually join the master of ESTP next year, who is planning to join the master of ESTP next year, and one for EPF as well, I guess. So that's a pretty good example of satisfaction. Yeah, I would say that's about it. They felt challenged by and pretty proud of themselves because they had to hold this presentation at the end of their project. They had to present their project, and that was very appreciated by the students as well. They were all awarded the 6 credits, the 6 ECTS. So yeah, at the end of the session, everything was pretty good.
Okay. I'm just going to answer the question that is submitted by Saida. We have received many documents this week, and it's holidays in France, so maybe that's why we're running a bit late in the answers. So don't worry if you have sent all the documentation, you will receive an email next week. So don't worry. And if you haven't received any news from us next week, just feel free to send back another mail. It's okay. Okay, so we are seeing quite a lot of questions live.
Good.
Yes. Muhammad is asking, it was mentioned on the email that we have to pay 2,500 euros summer exchange program fee, but no payment method or bank account was mentioned there. So I want to know about the payment method.
It's normally, I think, mentioned in the admission letter.
Sure.
I've seen.
I would say that if they receive an admission letter, they should receive an invoice as well, and this invoice shows the bank details. So wire transfer would be the easiest method to pay the tuition fee. Yes. Okay.
And we have another question. Will we be marked for the project we submit? I'm missing some letters. And do we need to write any exam to get the final certification? Of course.
The grades are are based basically on two parts. One part which is a written exam on the lectures that the students will receive for the first 10 days in Cachan. And then the second grade will be the presentation of the project, right, on the last day.
There is actually a real project which is offered by the city of Troyes, Division of Urban Planning. And the students will work on different teams on this project. And then at the end of the week, they will present this in front of the client, because there is a real client who participates as well and who wants to see the results. And also the urban planners from the city of Troyes will also be present. So students will present their projects in front of them, and so there will be a jury that will judge their work, and then they will receive certificates at the end of the summer school.
Okay,
but nothing scary though.
No,
right?
it's not.
I mean,
It's
again,
very interesting, and it will be a teamwork.
Exactly, it's more participation than
a lot of fun with working together, and also we will be there helping them and coaching them together.
Okay, great. And according to you, what makes this summer program unique compared to other existing programs on this subject?
Good question. I would say that well, the program is unique because the teaching part is carried out by professors, academic professors, but by key actors from the industry as well. And that's probably interesting to know that they're coming either from France, but from all over the world as well. I guess that's the strength of our schools, is the close exposure to the industry, and that makes a difference for the students. I would take the example of the visit of the headquarters of a French construction major that will take place during the first 10 days. And while speakers are explaining how the building are smart and how the buildings at the headquarters are smart and so on, they will even be asked to leave their resume, and maybe then that could lead to an internship one day or another in the future. And well, that's a pretty unique point, I would say. So they will be challenged and exposed to technical classes, to concrete examples, to roundtables, conferences, practical workshops that are monitored, as you said, and a case study, as you mentioned. Right. So this is pretty unique as well.
And also the fact that the summer school is taking place in two cities.
Sure.
They can also see Paris, also Troyes, which is very historic. It's one of the most, I can say, beautiful medieval cities in France. So in terms of architecture, it's very interesting.
It's really related to the subject, and it's perfect.
And renovated.
Yes, also. And as well, the building of EPF itself is kind of remarkable, I can say. It's a smart building in terms of energy consumption, and also a lot of sensors, and it's managed by all these sensors. So it's really interesting also for the students to see this building.
Which is not medieval.
No,
it's modern, of course.
Yeah. We have another question regarding the fees. The 2,500 fee is applicable also for the international students. And do we have any scholarship to pursue?
Unfortunately, not really. We might have some prizes at the end, but there's no scholarship per se. We have a few. We are working with embassies, and they might have some, depending on the countries they're from. I know China is supporting us a lot, and the French embassy in China is supporting and giving out some scholarships. But I'm not sure about maybe other embassies are ready to do so. But from our point of view.
As well, maybe some schools, if they are students in some other establishment, probably they may offer some kind of reform. Maybe they can ask their own schools.
Okay.
And they may be able to transfer credits for some schools as well. It could give them less tuition in their original country.
Okay. And what would you say to the people viewing the live today to convince them to choose our summer program?
Well, the summer school will give them a great idea of what they want to do for a living. Fairness, you did mention something about being confirmed in their choice of working on smart cities, and they might get a clear idea of how they
Also
envision a better world, even.
Yes, and also see other people, other professionals in this field. Probably they can have contacts with future that might be interesting.
Sure. They will be exposed to professional people, and they will have a very easy access to them. So it will, I guess, not only widen their ideas, but their perspective, but as well their professional network. So which is key for them at this point of their studies.
We have a question from Mohammed who is asking what's the deadline to pay the summer exchange for our fee?
Ah, good question. May 1st. So soon. May 1st, right.
Okay, so we're coming to the end of the live. So if you have any other questions, just send them right now. Maybe before ending, you would like to add a word to conclude, both of you?
Just saying that we are waiting for them. First in Paris and then in France, and it's going to be a great adventure this summer.
You're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And students will be pampered in the summer school, so we'll make it on a human scale, and not too many students will be around, so it will be really a personalized and privileged moment for them, I guess.
Okay, great. Then, but thank you all for taking part into this live, for your intervention, and for all your questions. Feel free to send us your questions by email if you have any other.
Won't be too late.
Yeah, it's never too late for the questions. The replay will be online from Monday on our website. So if you have missed the beginning of the live, feel free to watch it. If you have any further questions, you can send your questions to the email address international@epf.fr. Both teams are behind the mail, so don't worry. And we hope to hopefully we will welcome you this summer at our summer program. Absolutely. And we hope to see you soon. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Bye.